Hi, James, Wisdom Shift, Kitchen Talk. Talked to you this morning about discipline. Was finishing up brushing my teeth and was thinking about discipline. Was up really early this morning, 5 o'clock. What would your life look like if you had discipline in it? That you disciplined yourself to get up early in the morning, to discipline yourself to go to the gym. Was thinking about a story from way back when I was working on drilling rigs. I was a young buck. We had this one mud analyst, and we were way the hell back in the bush in the foothills of the mountains of Alberta, and drilling really, really long-term deep wells. We had this one mud analyst who just refused to get out of bed in the morning, and we had to be on shift on tower at 7:30 in the morning, and finally the driller Lanny, he goes, I had enough of this SOB. God, freaking. Anyways, he takes his bear horn, which I didn't find out until I heard it go off. He takes his bear horn because we had bears all around, from grizzlies to brown and black bears. And I'm sitting in the mess hall, which was down the hall, around the corner, and then into the mess hall. And I'm eating my breakfast. All of us, the crew was, and we were just kind of chit chatting, having our coffee before we jumped in the crew truck and headed up to the drilling rig. And we all hear this, and I mean, frickin' loud bear horn go off. Well, I guess Lanny had went right up, and about 3 or 4 inches from his ear, he gave it a blast. Well, I tell you that story because my youngest, when we had kids and they were growing up, he just refused to get out of bed. And no, I didn't think about doing that to him, although that might not have been a bad. No, I'm kidding. It would not have been a good idea. But I remember the difficulty. It's like in showing him how to be disciplined, because he would fiddle fart around and he would not take and go to bed. And then when he went to bed, he diddly dally, and he, like I wasn't into allowing my kids to have their video games. They had the Nintendo, like, handheld ones that you played with back in the day, or they played with back in the day. Anyways, it was a challenge to get him to see the benefits of discipline. Now, now he is like 6'2", about 255. He works out every day at the gym. He's a big boy. Like, he's super, super, super disciplined. But the question I have is, what would it take for you to bring discipline into your life? And I'm not talking about hardcore, go to the gym every day. Like, I'm about to head off to the gym here shortly. But what would it take for you to bring some discipline to do better at your job, do better in your relationship with your husband or your wife? You know, get out there instead of sitting around playing a video game, or, kind of jerking off on, and I don't mean it quite like that, but, jacking off on Saturday, jerking around, just, wasting your Saturday. And go for a hike. Like, we're like less than an hour from the mountains here, so the Rocky Mountains. So it's so great to take and just go. Yeah, Saturday morning, boom. If I haven't got stuff to do in my garage, it's like I'm going for a hike. Number one, it's physical fitness. Number two, it's enjoyable. Number three, the views are freaking amazing. Number four, you get to meet people sometimes on the trail. Number five, you might come across an elk or a deer or a bear. Bears are fun. Anyways, I digress. Discipline. Discipline is one of the cornerstones to having a successful, but more importantly, a fulfilling life. And when you make a choice to bring discipline into the lexicon of your thinking, and like I did that when when I was in sales and I realized I can't work for the employers that I'm working for. I need to work for myself. And it wasn't that I didn't get along with people. I kind of gave that up a long time ago, when I was working on drilling rigs, when I literally couldn't get along with people. Um, but I realized it's like I need to be employed by myself, for myself, and for my family because I had so much drive and so much, like can do attitude that like so many of us here in Alberta have. That's why in Canada, Alberta is known as the can do province. So I brought that level of discipline that I learned from my mom and my dad, and that's just get it done. And I I brought that attitude to starting my business. And I memean, I worked like 14, 16 hours a day. And then after 6 weeks, I mean, I tell my wife, it's like, I got to go to bed at 7 o'clock at night and I'd sleep straight through till 5 in the morning. And I would do that for like a week and I'd be recharged. And then I go again for another 5, 6 weeks or so and just flat out took me 2 years to get my business where it was profitable, making money. We were doing well. I had great clients, but the burnout rate at that, doing it that way, that kind of discipline is pretty high. Now, fortunately, I was born into life with this amazing body that's just like a little Ferrari on steroids. And I'm 5'10", 200 or 185 pounds, 200, where the hell did that come from? 5'10", about 185 pounds. And no idea in metric what the hell that is, even though I'm in Canada. But, I always gave my body thanks for carrying me through life so that I could do the things that I want to do and be disciplined in a way that I was able to, pull off some of the things that I did. So, getting back to the point is, what do you do to be disciplined? Well, number one, you make a commitment to go to bed early enough so that you can get up early enough in the morning so that you can spend a little me time, you time, where you actually sit and if you want to drink a coffee, drink a coffee. You want to drink a tea, drink a tea. Spend some time reflecting about what it is that you're committed to. When you figure out what you're committed to, that will help the discipline part kick in. Because when you have something that you're committed to, you will discipline yourself to achieve whatever you want. And, it might not be to conquer the world. It might just be to be a better father, to be a better husband, to be a better wife, to be there for your husband. Because you see, as men, we don't really say a lot about how we struggle. So as a wife, if women are listening to this, how you can support your husband. Because if he's actually doing what it takes and being disciplined to get done what he wants and needs to provide for you and your kids and your household as a family, you want to take and honor the discipline that it takes. And then ultimately you being disciplined to not be a nag, but more be supportive. So didn't mean to go off on a rant there, but I did. If you like this content, if you enjoy this, give it a thumbs up. And if you really like it, subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.